that, shall we? The liberals suggesting that it was racist, first of all, and Russell Wilson, who has been criticized in the past, even by unnamed. This was back a year or so ago. Unnamed players on the team for not being black enough. Right? He's not black enough that Pete Carroll made that call, or at least the call came to him via the offensive coordinator, and Wilson said Carroll said yes because he wanted the not really black guy to get the glory. I mean, just how asinine is that?
Right. Well, one of the biggest posts that I had last year was Charles Round Mound of Rebound Barkley talking in response to the criticisms about Russell Wilson because he's, quote, not black enough.
Right.
And so this is kind of along those lines. Now, think about the steps that you as a progressive lefty have to go through.
Right.
You're looking at Pete Carroll's arguable decision to throw on second down that got intercepted. Right?
Let me replace the word arguable with asinine, but continue.
No, I don't agree, Mike. I don't agree that it was an asinine move.
Okay. So me, we have to stop, and why not?
Because first of all, everybody in the stadium would expect, and everybody on the opposing sideline, more importantly, would expect that Marshawn Lynch would run.
Right. Okay.
So
No. Dude, we're in analysis here. Okay, let's give you that.
Okay, good. Now, then,
do you think? Wait a minute. Do you do you think that the Patriots they're in within the 1 yard line? Do you think it's second and goal? They have a timeout left, so they have at least 2 plays to run.
Right.
Do you honestly think, speaking, because percentages play into this stuff, but even if you throw those out, do you honestly think that the Patriots could have stopped him twice from getting in the end zone?
I don't know, but here's the other percentages you got to think is that if you can throw a surprise at the opposing defense, you'll be more likely to be successful.
Okay, here's the only thing I'm going to say, and then I'll shut up, and then let's continue. When you throw the ball that close to the goal line, dude, I followed football a long time, played it. It's all of a sudden anything can happen, and when you have that much on the line and you got that guy in the backfield, that will go down. This is not me. I mean, this will go down as the most ridiculous call in the history of the Super Bowl. So anyway,
do you know how many interceptions there were on throws from the 1 yard line in the end zone this past football season, Mike?
No.
0.
How many throws were there from the 1 yard line?
Dozens.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. But I'm still saying, and I know I'm Monday morning quarterbacking it, but when you got that beast Victoria Taft said it yesterday. When you got that beast in the background with that fire in his eyes and fire in his belly, I'm just never gonna not believe, double negative, that percentage-wise, running that dude twice would not only have been the right call, but have been the least, whatever. So anyway, we can disagree.
We can disagree. Anywho, so back to my initial point. If you're a progressive lefty and you're thinking about Pete Carroll making a call to figure out what's going to be the way to get us into the end zone because we have to do it.
Right.
And of all the various different motivations, he's got another ring. He's got another, I'm certain he's got a bonus. So he's got personal income. He's got pride for the team. He's got
back-to-back dynasty. Yeah.
All of those various different things. The progressive lefty is going to come out and say, no, his concern over race and and what kind of racial face he wants to put on his football team.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to not give it to Marshawn Lynch because we want the cleaner looking, less black guy or the more white black guy to get the kudos. It is It is literally insane that
Well,
somebody could even come up with this as an idea.
yeah, and just picture the conversation, right? So the offensive coordinator comes up to Carroll. He goes, "Dude, here's what I want to run."
I want to run Marshawn.
No, no, here's a play I want to call. We're going to quick pass and at the goal line, and I think we'll catch them off guard, we'll surprise them, and we'll win the game. It'll be over. And then Carroll says back to him. So Carroll says back to him, okay, I get that, but here's what we got to take into account. If we do that, then Russell Wilson is going to get the credit. And what people think about Russell Wilson. No. If we do the run with Marshawn, he doesn't talk to the press. He gets fined all the time. He's arbitrary. The run thing is good. I mean, it's incomprehensible.
Well, that's what it would be. I mean, what they're suggesting is that somebody brought up the idea of
Right.
running Marshawn, and that Carroll's like, well, you know what? We
You know what? I
can't
was
do that.
multitasking and I blew that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
We,
yeah.
we
You're
can't
exactly right.
we can't do the run because he's the dirtier black. We got to do the cleaner white guy. So good idea, but yeah. I mean, the thinking that it would go through to identify Pete Carroll's decision as having some sort of racist basis is, I mean, it's literally insane.
And isn't that where we are right now in the way that the left, the hypersensitive folks looking for racism at every opportunity? That's where we are right now, man.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely crazy. And
You think?
I love I love Rush's take on it. It just saying, this is where we are as a world today.
It is. It exactly is. By the way, who the hell is Frank Camp?
What?
Never mind, man. It's your next post. This thing about neighbors outraged about this guy building a personal gun range next to his.
Oh, yeah. What an interesting story that is.
Do you know who that guy is?
Frank Camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a writer at IJ Review.
How long's he been with us?
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, I know. But anyway, yeah, closing the loop on that thing. I mean, that's ridiculous, and I hope maybe it's the last time we talk about that play, because I'm NFL freak, have always been, and I'm scarred by it, and I didn't have a horse in the race, so maybe this is the last time we'll talk about that. So what about this gun range thing?
Yeah, so a guy in Florida built a personal gun range in his backyard, and the neighbors have kids, and the neighbors freaked out about it, and the guy, and apparently where they live in Florida, you can shoot a gun in your backyard. All of the neighbors got together and did a petition to this guy to not shoot his gun in his backyard, and so he didn't. He built, and they have a picture of it. He built a little gun range in his own backyard, so he could stand and fire his 9mm into a target.
Because I know we are both advocates of the Second Amendment, and you actually own guns and shoot guns. I do not. But so just kind of on the surface, what do you think about that law? First of all, that can be allowed to happen, and then the neighbor's response and his response back. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a state statute. The state statute is that it's legal to fire a gun in your backyard as long as you don't do so in a reckless or negligent manner. And so this guy is he's in St. Petersburg. And the neighbors said, here's the quote: "We'd like to first start by thanking Mr. Carante for tearing down his range. No Florida neighborhood is safe as long as this law is on the books as it currently stands." The guy himself said, "My intentions were never to instill fear in my neighbor. I was following the law. It's a poorly written law, and I do believe that it should be changed."
Okay, so I didn't read the story, but one would assume if the guy was an avid, as he appears to be, gun owner, gun shooter, whatever, that whatever gun range he built in his backyard was safe. I don't know what was behind, what he was shooting at or whatever. I don't know that part. Is there anything in there about that?
Yeah, it's a what he did is it's a 4 foot tall. Basically, it's wooden pallets, cinder blocks, and dirt.
See,
So
there we go.
it's basically a target, so that when the round would penetrate the target, it goes into this basically 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot cube of concrete and sand to trap the bullet.
There we go. And Jessica just messaged St. Pete, really? I've been there a whole bunch of times. Been to Don Cesar's. Is that the name of the that famous hotel down there, Jessica? I'm not sure.
I think so.
But pardon me?
I said I think so.
Yeah, I'm surprised too in St. Pete.
I'm
But
surprised in St. Pete. I actually know someone who has a range like that, close to here where I am at right now. But usually, yeah, as long as you have, you can't be a certain distance from another house or something like that. As far as what's behind that range area,
right.
you have to have the dirt pile, the cinder blocks, and everything. That's totally legal here. So
I mean, I can see the deal. If you have an idiot out there that's half blind, and it kind of ricochets off the sign. What did you say, 4x4 or whatever it is? It could be dangerous. I don't know. And probably not a good idea to go ahead and put that in your backyard, Michael. What do you think?
Well, in my backyard, and obviously I have no idea the size of this guy's yard, what the nature of it is, but my house growing up in San Diego, we had a small little lot. I mean, it may have been, it was less than a quarter acre, an eighth of an acre size. My brother and I would sit and we'd shoot BB guns into our target for hours and hours and hours, months and months, and years on years we did. I have a friend lives up right around the corner from Universal Studios in Studio City in Los Angeles, like right in the middle of an urban neighborhood, and she's shooting bows and arrows. It's that kind of situation. It sounds like that this guy is doing,
Right.
but I do think that obviously there's a significant difference between a BB gun and a 9 millimeter.
Sure.
Now Dan points out. Dan just said that he had a friend that had a 300-yard range on his farm. So that's nuts. That's 900 feet
Right.
across the. But he says that it's a farm. That's different than an urban area.
yeah. I have no problem with. There's definitely places out here, and I guess even in the St. Pete area. I didn't think that. I thought most of that was populated, but yeah, they can totally have that and not have any problems. It's not uncommon for people to have an acre around here.
I mean, I kind of get it. I said I've never owned a gun, and I guess I kind of owned one when I was a kid. I grew up on a resort on a lake in northern Wisconsin, and what was I? Let's see, we left there and came back to Indiana when I was in the sixth grade. So do the math on that. But like I had, you guys know what an over/under is, right? So
Shotgun, sure.
yeah. Well, no, it's it's a 22 on top. It can be, I guess, different gauges. 22 on top and a 410 shotgun on the bottom. And my friend had one too, and we would go out into the woods, and for hell, just for fun. I know this is bad, Peter. We'd shoot stuff. So I mean, I kind of get it, but I get the other side as well. I mean, like a neighborhood, maybe not.
Well, I think it's the kind of thing where you would just need to use a little bit of
Common sense.
common sense, but also I can imagine. I mean, put about it this way: if in my backyard, the house that I had up in Orange, we had huge yards. If I was hearing my neighbor out there shooting a gun,
Right.
and my kids are in the back on the trampoline riding their bikes around our backyard, I'd be like, you know what, dude, could you not shoot your gun in the backyard because my freaking kids are running around?
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I thought you were going to say I'd bring my kids inside, which that would be wrong. You should ask the guy not to shoot the gun. Dude, we're out of time. You want to take us out?
Yeah, please. So, folks, thanks for listening. This is The Right Mics. This is Michael Hausum for Mike Miller. We will be back tomorrow. We've got John Gabriel on for the show, one of the segments, which will be fun. So we will be back in 22 hours. Thank you so much for listening.